It is April 3rd, 1968. A civil rights activist boards his plane after it is searched for a bomb. He is headed to Memphis, Tennessee, to support a workers' strike. Little does he know that the alleged bomb threat isn't the only threat on his life. It is April 4th. The activist prepares for dinner with a local minister when he walks out on his balcony of Suite 306 at the Lorraine Motel.
At 6:01 p.m., a single shot fires from a Remington rifle and strikes the activist in the neck. The assassin is seen fleeing from a house across the street. The activist is rushed to a hospital and pronounced dead 1 hour later, at the age of 39.
Direct from our newsroom in Washington, this is the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite.
Good evening. Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee.
I have some very sad news.
These images are from the Martin Luther King Assassination Gallery of the Rolls Down Like Water exhibit at the National Center for Civil and Human Rights. The NCCHR is one of many organizations that captures the legacy and impact of Dr. King at one of the darkest times in our country's history. The Martin Luther King Assassination Gallery is especially effective at making King's assassination real to visitors because it simulates a first-person experience of a violent yet pivotal event in history.
The NCCHR relates the civil rights era to its audience so that even young people who do not have a personal connection with the civil rights movement can understand what was won and lost. The exhibit flows in chronological order and uses recorded interviews, televised events, and images to guide visitors through critical events in the civil rights movement beginning in the 1950s through the late 1960s. The combinations of sounds and images fosters an interactive experience of seeing the news the way it was delivered during this time.
The MLK assassination exhibit is one of the darkest places in the museum, literally and figuratively. A key feature of the gallery is its use of a confined space to make the viewer feel insecure and uncomfortable. Ani Pulgura of Brown University observes that the gallery at the NCCHR differs from a typical museum in that it uses a constricted entrance area to intentionally foster feelings of claustrophobia and anxiety. David Dean's textbook Museum Exhibitions explains how people feel uneasy when their personal space is violated. This claustrophobic aspect provides a first-person experience by allowing visitors to get a taste of the panic and vulnerability that ensued following Martin Luther King's death.
The use of cramped space also serves to amplify the noises heard in the gallery. A rapid loop of television clips, radio announcements, and rock and roll music are used to elicit confusion and disorientation, mimicking the experience of a person living at the time. The jumbled variety of sound clips assaults the senses of visitors and prevents them from fully focusing on one source. This part of the gallery also includes videos of the riots that broke out immediately following King's death. The sounds and visuals combined relate the uncertainty and anxiety felt by the people of the time and adds to the first-person experience of visitors.
From a cramped, noisy lower gallery, visitors are led up a staircase modeled after the balcony of the Lorraine Motel and past striking life-size photographs of King's assassination. The stairs put visitors in King's shoes as they imagine climbing up the steps of the Lorraine Motel to an unexpected death.
Rising out of the confusion, the staircase empties into a seated reflection area where visitors are encouraged to watch footage of the funeral events in the nationwide mourning after King's assassination. Sitting in the rows of benches simulates being an attendant at King's funeral and generates feelings of mourning and loss evident in the grief-stricken nation. This allows for visitors to fully interact with the exhibit and consider the consequences of King's death.
The visuals and sound come to a more manageable level compared to the first level of the gallery, allowing visitors to focus more clearly on one thing at a time. The viewer is confronted with the themes of loss and martyrdom that plagued the country after King's passing. A somber and reverent mood pervades the room as the audience mourns alongside a grieving nation.
The gallery's final staircase brings viewers into a well-lit, open, and nearly silent room, representing a transcendence from violence and emphasizing the lasting positive impact martyrs such as MLK had on the civil rights movement and on the country as a whole. The bright lighting, palpable quiet, and open space shock visitors back into the present, making their reflection on the gallery that much more powerful. The cohesion of the museum lends itself to the felt experience of visitors. The gallery guides viewers through a volatile time in American history, using space, sound, and light to create a first-person historical experience for the viewers and to remind them that civil rights issues are in many cases just as relevant today.